Hello, and today I'm going to be covering animation controllers at Unity3D. Over the next, I don't know, maybe like 5 through 10 videos, I'm going to go with you guys and I'm going to go through each step on how I made this scene with the gun, sprint, zoom in, got legs, so first thing you want to do is you want to create a new scene, a new project. But I already created a project, I imported everything I needed. All the assets will be down in the description for you to download. So let's just go into YouTube. Alright, so first things first, you want to go and go to hierarchy. Let's go and create 3D object cube. Let's make it 25 by 25. Go to first person. Remember, these assets will be down in the description for you to download. Example, prefabs, first person controller. Let's go and drag that right in. So now when you hit play, oh, I'll just go and delete that. Does it work now? Yes, so oop. Now you can walk around your scene, and yeah. Bit laggy, I don't know why. Yeah, you can walk around your scene. Alright, so now let's go ahead and do the legs today. So, what you want to do is go into FPS legs, which I have the thing for you. You want to go into legs. I created this earlier, let's go and delete that. So let's just go and take these legs. Let's go and take them out of there. Let's go and scale them up. Let's take a look at these. Let's go ahead and click on it inside of our project. Let's go and make sure rig is set to humanoid. Then you want to hit apply. So let's go ahead and create animation controller. Let's name it legs. So when you double click on legs, here's what you're going to be met with. Alright. So what you're going to need to do, you want to go back into soldier. Scroll down until you see this animation right here. It's a pair of legs. Scroll down till you see stand idle 2. Drag that in there. So now those legs are gonna play that animation as its idle animation whenever you start up the scene. Obviously, it would probably help if you set it to loop. Set the animation to loop, wherever the animation is. Yes, it's set to loop. Or not. Apparently not. go ahead and make sure this rig is also a humanoid. Yes, it is. Oh, yes. Yes, that's why it's not playing. You want to go to hierarchy, you want to go and click on the legs, alright? Then, controller. You want to set the controller to the legs. Alright. So now, whatever animation you have inside the animator is going to be attached to the legs. Sorry, I am sometimes stupid. There we are, it's very subtle, but noticeable. Alright, let's go get those legs attached to me, shall we? Let's go and drag them over. Forward a bit. Now, what you want to do, so you can't just see like straight into you, what you're going to want to do is make sure that they're a little bit further back. Go over to mouse look inside the first person controller. Where this has 90, you want to turn that to like 68. Now make sure that the legs are inside the first person controller so they follow them around. So when you look down, see it, you can still see into your body, so what you want to do is move them back just a tiny bit. And move them a bit forward. Also, I'm going to go into lighting. I'm going to close that blender. Go into lighting. I'm going to go and just turn off both of these. So, let's go back into scene. Let's go move that tiny bit further ahead. Basically, you just want to find a good spot for it. So when you look down, you also want to turn your head bob off on your first person controller. It's kind of annoying. Use head bob, check that off. Alright, so let's go and get into the animation controller. So a few more animations that you're going to do. You're going to want to do the walking animations. So you want to use walk back. You want to use walk forward. You want to use walk left. Last, you want to use walk right. So let's just go and put these in a line underneath the idle. Just go and idle down. So walk forward, it's going to be first. Walk back, then walk right, and then walk left. So let's make a transit. Let's right click on idle. You want to make transition. You want to click on walk forward. Transition moves into the new animation. So let's go and go into parameters right here. Add. Let's go and add a float. Let's just name this for let's just name this walk. Spell. So walk. Click back on this little arrow that you created. You want to make sure that this is checked off. Scroll down. Click on walk. Actually, this won't be here. And click this plus button. Walk. If walk is greater than 0.1, then it'll go to walk forward. Right click on walk forward, make transition, and go back to idle 2. Click on the new arrow that you just created. Make sure that's checked off. Add that. If walk is less than 0.1, then it will move back to idle. Alright, so let's go and take a look at the script. So the script is animation. Alright, so now it's open. Let's go and take a look at the file. So this is a C# script. Alright, animator. This will allow you to access the animator. This. You want to make sure that's inside the public class, inside the main class. So on the start, you want to get animator, which is this. Get component animator, which is obviously this. So inside the update, you want to put float. A float is what we created inside here. This is our float. Okay, this is the reference that we're going to use. So like, you're going to use H to reference this action right here. So input.getAxis horizontal. So what that's basically going to do is whenever it gets the access of you moving horizontally, so side to side, it's going to make this number go up, and then as soon as it goes up past 0.1, it'll start playing the forward animation. Same thing for vertical. Same thing for vertical. So for the sprint and jump, let's just not worry about that right now. So all we want to do is worry about, well, really this one right here, right now, because we're just going to be walking forward. So let's just go ahead and rename this to walk, because that's what we named our float, for walking forward. Alright, so let's go and save this. You want to attach this to your legs. So go into soldier, the animation script, let's just put that inside there. Alright. Now, I can't remember if you need a rigid body for it. I can't quite remember. We'll see though. Nope. You just walk forward. Although it does get messed up a little bit when all of them are not quite connected. So let's just go and bring forward, put that over there. Walk back over there. This right here. This right here. This will make it a bit easier to work with. But usually you want to have it nice and clean. So let's go ahead and make transition to walk back. Make transition back to idle. Okay, make sure it does not have an exit time. Let's go and add if walk is less than minus 0.1, then I'll go to walk back. So when you're walking backwards, this number will go into the negatives. So then it'll play the walk back animation. So for the other one, you obviously want to make the opposite. So if walk is greater than minus 0.1, then I'll go back to standing to the idle. Let's make another transition to walk left and make a transition back. So walk left. Let's make another float. Name it strafe. Alright, so this will be your horizontal movement. So if strafe is less than minus 0.1, then I'll go to walk. And then to this, if walk is, strafe is greater than minus 0.1, then I'll go back to the idle animation. So we're going to do this to all the animations. Hopefully you get it a little bit by now. So has exit time, you don't want to make it so it has an exit time. So if strafe is greater than 0.1, then I'll play the right. And if strafe is less than 0.1, then I'll go back to that. So let's go and take a look back at the script. So now H references this animator.setFloat. So if the float has a change, it'll change it. So for vertical, that's walking forwards. Then so strafe, if it sees a change side strafe, this is our float right here, is attached to this. Then sprint and jump, let's not worry about that right now. So here's our simple little animation controller. What you want to do though is make a transition to these. So actually not quite yet. Let's not worry about that right now. So just make a transition to these two. So if you want to go to that, walk has to be less than minus 0.1. Then if you're on that, if strafe is greater than 0.1, then I'll go to this. If not, then I'll go to idle. Make transition forward, make a transition back. Actually, no, you don't want to do that quite yet. Make transition there and there. So if walk is less than minus 0.1, then if strafe is less than minus 0.1, then I'll play the walking left animation. Then I'm going to do the same thing to these. So walk right, forward. If walk is greater than 0.1, then this one, if strafe is greater than 0.1, transition to there, transition down into here. If walk is greater than 0.1, and this one will be if strafe is less than minus 0.1. Alright, so here's our nice little animation controller thing. So now when I hit play, that script that we have, it's going to play the forward animation, play back, sidestep. As you can see, our little thing is moving though, so let's go and attach a, where is it? Let's go and click right here. Let's go and go to model. Let's go and generate colliders. Yes, okay, I already did that. So let's go and go into the legs. Let's go and component, physics, rigid body. I can't remember the setup I had for it though. Don't think I had those on. Use gravity maybe. No, that's not it. Ah, yes. So on the legs, you want to make sure you check off Apply Root Motion. So that'll stop it from moving around and stuff like that. So that's your nice little walking animation controller thing for your feet. Let's go and move it forward just a tiny bit. Let's go and put the texture on it. Oop. There we are. So now when you hit play, these legs will be colored in color. Obviously you can sprint like this, but that just doesn't look right. So let's go and add in another animation. Let's go and add in a sprinting animation. So let's go and add in the run animation. So run. Make transition from idle. Make transition back. Actually, no, you don't want to do that. You want to make a transition from walk forward. Then you want to also make a transition back. So, let's go and create another parameter here. Let's go and make bool. Let's sprint. Get back onto this. Gotta make sure it does not have an exit time. If sprint is true, a boolean is like a true or false statement. So if sprint is true, it'll go to run. Inside the script, bool sprint, we use this to reference down here, input.getKey, so when you hold shift, not just click it, when you hold it, it'll, when you hold left shift, it'll, as long as you're holding shift, it'll say sprint is true. As soon as you let go of sprint, it'll say it's false. Alright, so then you want to go over to the other arrow, going back to forward. You want to add, if sprint is false, it'll go back to the walking forward animation. Oop, something messed up. Okay then. Alright, so what you want to do on run, you want to make sure that the animation is sped up a little bit, so maybe 2.5 is good. Then you want to also make a transition back to idle. Make a transition back to... Actually, no, you just want to make a transition to idle. Then you want to set a parameter. If walk is less than 0.1, then it will go to idle. So when I walk, it'll play the... Also, if I stop running, stop playing the animation. Also, you can hit jump. Nothing really happens, though. There's an interesting little jumping animation that they have. I don't really know how to feel about it. Jump. You can put the jump inside there, too. So, jump. Let's just go and put all these, like, together. Go and put run right there. Now, jump I'm going to go and put over to the side right here. So, no matter what position we're in, we're going to want to be able to jump. So, make a transition to all of these. Okay. Make a transition back to all of them. Oop. So now jump is going to be our main little animation type thing. Well, not main. Whenever you hit spacebar, it's going to happen. Let's go and create another parameter. Let's create another bool. Jump. So now, obviously, whenever you hit the spacebar inside the script that I made, so now whenever you hit the key code space, it'll play the jump animation. Simple enough. But I need to set these, set all of them. Jump is true. Jump is true. I'm going to set all the arrows going into it if jump is true. Oop, don't want to do that. Alright, so now whenever I go in there, whenever I hit jump, it's going to play the jump animation. I don't even know if you need to transition back into any of those. Let's go and delete everything you've transitioned into. There. There. Do you not need those? Yes, you do, apparently. So these you don't have to do anything with. You want to make sure all of them has the exit time on it, though. Alright, so that's our nice little, this are our leg animations, our walking animations for the game. other like little things that you want to do. You want to go and take a run. I'll make a transition, walk back. I mean, not walk back. Transition to walk right, make transition to walk left, stuff like that. No, this one's less. Minus 0.1. This one is greater than 0.1. Alright, so that's enough for the legs today. And then in the next episode, I'll probably cover the gun and making some animations for that. Alright?